My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. And I was really excited for this movie for two main reasons. The first one is that it's by DreamWorks Animation, and I'm a huge fan of them as a studio. I think they've produced some incredible movies. Sure, they've also made some other movies as well, but they make a lot more great movies than people give them credit for. And on top of that, the premise for this movie is amazing. The fact that the main character is a cat who dies at the very beginning, and the plot has to deal with the fact that he's died 8 times and now he's on to his last wish, his last life. Like, that is just brilliant and a great opportunity to explore life and death and mortality and just all the things surrounding that. And I feel like this movie could have been really amazing, and unfortunately, it's just decent. I did like it, I had a fun time with it, but it's nowhere near as deep or as emotional as I found it had potential to be. But let's begin talking about the best part of this movie, and it's the animation. This movie is just stunning to look at. I'm getting tired of the Disney animated movies all looking the exact same. Do they look great? Yes. Do they look realistic? Yes. But they're just more of the same at this point. I watched Encanto last year and I'm just like, oh, this looks just like Moana and Tangled, and it just doesn't feel like it has its own personality. So the fact that studios are experimenting more with different animation styles just make me happy. Like, Spider-Verse did it in 2018, and that movie is just stunning. It's just so stylistically interesting. We got Arcane on Netflix last year, which is some of the greatest animation I've ever seen. It's just so beautiful. And now we've got DreamWorks Animation doing this kind of 2D, 3D animation combination with the bad guys and now Puss in Boots. And I think it really works. It makes this movie feel distinct, it's colorful, it's bright, and it's just very stylistically interesting in moments, and I love that. I'd rather a movie look interesting and different than realistic. I don't need that in my animated movies. And there are some very funny and clever moments. There's a running gag with Jiminy Cricket, which I actually found to be very hilarious. And there are the typical type of fairy tale puns that we've come to expect from the Shrek and Puss in Boots movies. So that's definitely present here, and I enjoy that. And the action in this movie is actually quite good. There's one fight scene early on that I just thought was actually the movie at its peak. It was a really tense fight, actually, so I love that. And I love lots of the ideas on display, but the storytelling itself I did find to be messy. A perfect example is the villains. So you've got Goldilocks and the Three Bears, who are really well written characters. There's emotional depth to Goldilocks and what she's trying to do. And then you've also got Jack Horner, who provides some great humor in this movie. Also, just very creative writing choices because he has like every magical item there is. And then you've got the big bad wolf, who is a legitimate threat in this movie. So you've got yourself three great villains, but together it just doesn't work as well as I would have liked. I would have liked more Goldilocks. I would have liked more Big Bad Wolf. I would have liked Jack Horner. There's only so much they can do with them when they're competing for screen time. And I like the Big Bad Wolf as a character, but there's a reveal that I just thought was unnecessary, and I wish they wrote the character in a simpler way. I'll say that. And I just wish it touched on mortality. It focuses more on the idea of being a legend, and that just didn't work for me. Like, you have every opportunity here. You've got Puss in Boots, who's been cocky and arrogant his entire life because he feels like he's immortal, that he can't die. But now he actually has to face the idea of death and how it's coming for him and how that would affect him on a much deeper level that would allow him to open up more. And it's right there. And they just went with the stupid legend stuff. So that was actually the most frustrating part of this movie for me. Well, that, and also there's this one character named Pierrot who I just found to be insufferable. He's the optimistic, naive, good friend, and I just wanted him to die the entire time. I could not stand him. His jokes never landed. His heartfelt moments never landed. This character was unbearable. So, yes, the voice cast does do a really good job though. Antonio Banderas is good as he always is, same as Salma Hayek. You've got Harvey Guillén as Pierrot, who, as I said, bloody annoying. Florence Pugh. Typically when bigger name actresses go to voice acting, I always get worried. I thought she did a really good job. You've got John Mulaney, who I thought was really funny as Jack Horner. Ragnar Muir plays the big bad wolf, and I thought he was really great and menacing when he needed to be. Ray Weinstein, Olivia Colman, and Samson Kail are really good as the three bears. And then you've also got Jiminy Cricket. I do not know who voices him. It's not on IMDb, but whoever voices Jiminy Cricket just nailed it. Nailed it, nailed it, nailed it. There were two other Jiminy Crickets this year. Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Ewan McGregor, and this Jiminy Cricket rises above them all. I'm not kidding when I say I thought this stuff was truly hilarious. But I did enjoy this movie. The animation is stunning, it's got some funny moments, it's got great action, it's got some great characters, and I like lots of the ideas that are present, but I just wish they embraced the whole idea of mortality here, and I wish the storytelling was a bit neater. It does feel messy in moments with all the different villains and all that. And the one character just I found to be bloody annoying, but I did enjoy it. I had a fun time. So I'm going to go ahead and give Puss in Boots: The Last Wish a 6 out of 10. It kind of does remind me of DreamWorks Animation's other movie that came out this year, The Bad Guys. I liked that one. I thought it was entertaining and very stylistically interesting, but there were definitely script issues. So I like this direction that the studio is heading in with more visually dynamic stories, but they do need to work on their scripts. But what did you think of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish if you did see it? If not, what did you think of the first movie? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon. And Gavin, out.